But this is probably the last time I'm going to play a classical work. There's several reasons. I won't say never, but I'm getting old. And,
not me, Lord.
Yeah, that's right. So I say if I'm going to go out, I'd like to play a piece that has perhaps the most meaning right now in my life. A piece written by the teacher I had at Florida State, and it was inspired by a ride in the hot air balloon. This man had, my teacher had a friend who was in the Royal Hungarian Air Force before there were planes, and they used hot air balloons for reconnaissance. And so his friend invited him for a ride, and he said, Dr. Dohnanyi, my teacher, said that he had flown in all the airplanes, including the early jet planes. But the only time he ever felt that he was flying was in that balloon ride. And so this is called Music of the Spheres, Spharenmusik.
Because my first flight was in a balloon.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember you mentioning that once when we did a television program, and I love that story. Would you tell us again, please?
1904. And at that time, flying with an aeroplane was just a dream, you know. We were very far from that. And some engineers, of course, they had headaches and tried to solve that problem. And we all hoped that one day it will come, but the thing was very far from, the problem was very far from to be solved. And so there was only the balloon, which was in some ways much nicer than the aeroplane.
Oh, how was it?
And it was nicer because it was more romantic. It was not dirigible. You had to you flew where the wind just drove the balloon, you know, and you could only regulate whether you want to fly higher or lower.
You couldn't direct it.
But you could direct it. The direction was the direction of the wind. And what's wonderful is in the biggest store, there was just, calmness, because you flew with the wind, and you didn't feel the wind at all, because you were in the wind, you know.
What sort of compartment did you ride in? Was it this big kind of thing?
No, yes, quite. So that one thing, in which had a basket, in which just 4 people had room. And it was so high that about to your breast it came, you know. And the balloon itself was huge and was of course open because it had to be open. For otherwise, it could have burst. You know, when you flew up to the regions where the air is much thinner. You know,
I say the pressure would have increased in the balloon.
And that only thing which you could regulate was whether you want to fly a little higher or
how did you do that?
Oh, that's very, very simple. You know, you want to have go up, then you had many sacks in little sacks in that basket, and when you threw out such sacks, of course, then the balloon the basket was lighter, you know, and then you blew out. And if you wanted to go down, then there was just a line on which you could open the balloon on the North Pole and let gas out, you know. then you went down. It was very beautiful.